Hey everyone. I've been getting a lot of questions about stock screeners, what they are, how to set them up, and how to use them. So before I tell you how to do that, I want to tell you about how I got really burned listening to strangers at my gym. When I first started trading stocks about 8 years ago, there were these older guys who would come into my gym, and I thought old meant wise, and wise meant they knew what they were talking about, and I would listen to them. They would come in and they would say, "We like this stock, we like that stock," and I would go home with because I lived at home at the time. I didn't have rent to worry about. I didn't really have a lot of big expenses hanging over me. I didn't go to college, so I didn't have that student debt hanging over me. And I had a lot of money in the bank because I was working and then saving all the money. So I had tons of cash. And so when these old people came in, I thought this was my ticket. I'm going to make a lot of money listening to these old guys, old, wise, confident investing types. They would come in and they would say, buy this, buy that. And I would go home and I would listen. And those stocks inevitably always went down. And I would come in and I'd say, "Hey, what happened? I bought that stock and went down." They go, "Yeah, you win some, you lose some." They didn't care, and they never told me, "Hey, if it starts to go down," there weren't, they weren't. It wasn't this community that you have online now, where there's so many resources and people like me and other people online telling you, "Take your losses, take your losses." They were just, "Yeah, so you bought it, you lost it, whatever." They didn't care, and I was getting burned over and over and over. I was losing a lot of money, and I said, I need to be a self sufficient trader. I need to learn on my own how to find these stocks. But how? How do you find these stocks? How do you find winners and losers? I had no clue. And then I found the stock screener. So on Ameritrade's website, when you come up here to the home page, you're going to see this tab, Research and Ideas. If you click on it, it's going to take you right here to the overview or to screeners. So I'm already on the page. You click on it, it opens you up to this. Now you can see here, I've got a lot of different screeners. And you have a lot of different screeners because sometimes you're looking for different things. If you're looking for a blue chip dividend paying stock that's held by a lot of institutional investors, you'll do a screener for that. If you're looking for a stock to trade today, you're going to look for different things, criteria. So you're able to pick from a long list. So let me just show you what they are, and then we'll come back here and I'll just go through some of my screeners. But you can see I've got different things selected, and I've got a lot of similar things too. If you click on create a screener, it's going to give you all these things. It's going to show you the basics, right? Like what market is it on, what index is it on. If you close that, you can click on fundamentals. It's going to give you the important long-term. See, this is the stuff for the long-term trades, right? As a trader, I don't really give a shit if they're profitable or not. I don't care if it's got institutional holders. I don't care about earnings and, all of that stuff. But as you, if you're a parent and you're picking stocks for your kid's portfolio for when they turn 18, and that you can say, "Hey, look, I've got the stock portfolio for you," it's important to look at these things. As a trader, not so much. Then you've got valuations, right? Price to earnings, price to book. This is more of that like long term, is the company financially stable kind of stuff. Again, I don't care about that. I don't care if they pay dividends or not. What I care about is, what is the stock trading at? Can I buy a lot for a little? And what are the technical indicators showing me? In other words, is it going to break out? Is it going to move up? Is it going to move down? So when you click over here, it's going to give you this option. This is where you really want to stick if you're going to be trading. Current price. It's going to show you all these different things. You can choose anywhere from 5 to over 50. Now, since we're trading and we want to buy stocks that are a little more affordable, we're going to do under $5. Next thing we're going to click on is the volume, is the today's volume versus average. The reason being, stocks tend to bounce around a little bit, but what we're looking for are stocks that are maybe having some big news, big announcements, big earnings, big mergers, maybe even a little insider trading. Maybe people are knowing things that they shouldn't know, or people know things and they shouldn't be buying, but they are, and we, without doing anything illegal, can ride their coattails. Hey, that stock had a suspiciously high number of trades today. A lot of buying, a lot of trades. I wonder if someone knows something. So what we want to go is, we want to go over here to today's volume versus the average. So I want to see any stock. So you can look here right now. Show me any stock under $5. Look at that, 5,844 stocks. That's a lot of companies on here. Show me some that are lower. I want to see stocks today that had above average volume. Not heavy, because that means they've already had their breakout. I want to see stuff that's about to go somewhere. Look at that. Drops it down to 390 shares. stocks had above average volume. Next, we want to go on technical analysis because that's what we care about. We want to see what the trends are, what the other traders are looking at. Bollinger Bands are super important, and I'll explain them a little later in this video. We want to see stuff that has had a breakout above the middle band. Middle band is important because it's the top band that's already shown the breakout. We don't want anything that's already broken out. We want stuff that is about to break out. Next, we're going to come over here. You can click squeeze, low volatility, normal volatility. We're not going to do any of that stuff. Moving average crossovers, let's see those. Usually their preset stuff is pretty standard and you don't have to mess around with it. Bollinger Bands, for example, usually track a period of about 20 days. They've got it set up for you already. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it. Same here with this one. It's going to say, show me anything that's had a crossover of its current price over the 15-day moving average. You've got a lot of different options here. And you can see here, it shows you 7 stocks. There are 7 companies here that meet my criteria. So see what we've done? We've whittled it down from 5,844 to 7. So now we've got a list here. Let's click on it. Let's click on it again. And now you can see all these companies. Now, since the markets have already closed, it's Friday when I'm filming this video. It's 11:13 at night. We're not trading in real time, but this is something you can do every night as part of your homework. And you can use one of these. I've got this little 99-cent notebook from CBS. And if you want to see how big of a nerd I am, every stock that I see goes in here. Every company. I write them all down. I write them down every night. I do my homework. Every night I go through my screeners. And I'll go through each one of these different companies. So let's just, for the hell of it, click on this one. ZVO. Not many shares traded, 130,000. But they also don't have very many shares on the market. They only have 30 million. Let's click on the chart. My thought process here is the trading range is narrow, which I like. But it's also trading sideways for a very long time. Even though it threatens a couple of little breakouts here and there, it threatens a breakout to the downside here. It looks like it's just never getting anywhere. And then sure enough, it moves lower. It is reversing course here. This is a stock I might put in my notebook. But you can see that the volume is also not very high. But if we click on the Thinkorswim app over here and we search for the stock, yesterday had a pretty good day. Actually, yesterday had a very good day. Yesterday it breaks out at, let me get my big head out of the way, breaks out at 159, pops up to 175. That's not bad if you bought 1,000, maybe even 2,000 shares, and it goes up about 10, 15 cents. Now, you're not going to get it exactly here, and you're not going to sell it exactly at its high, but you can ride 10 cents, 2,000 shares, it's 200 bucks. Not bad. And it's also staying above this middle line. Oh yeah, Bollinger Bands, while we're here. Bollinger Bands are these 3 lines, the red, let's call this blue, and the purple at the bottom. This is resistance. This is saying you can't get above this price. You can try, but you're not gonna. And the purple is saying you're not gonna go below this price. We're gonna support the price of this stock as hard as we can right here. When you have a breakout, it indicates a buying opportunity. And all the traders are looking for these exact same breakouts. So all the traders in the world are sitting there and they're looking at this stock and they see this breakout, they all rush in. And sure enough, it moves higher. And it's also staying on the positive line of this, this middle band here. As soon as it breaks out below, that's when we get a little nervous. So you could buy the stock down here and go, well, I'm just going to ride it all the way. It's starting to pull back, but it's still hanging in positive territory. Maybe it'll go higher. Nope, it crosses. For some traders, this would be when they sell. For me, I say I've got my preset profit in mind. I want to do $100 to $200 on every trade I make. So I calculated out ahead of time. Okay, if I buy it at 159 and it goes to 170, I've made 11 cents. If I have 200 shares, I've made $220. Okay, so if it gets to 170, boom. So here it goes, it gets to 170. Maybe I miss out on a couple of cents, right? Maybe it goes up 3 or 4 more cents. Maybe it goes up a lot higher. But I made what I needed to make. So that's an example of how you set up a screener. You can go back and you can see I've got a whole bunch of them here. All kinds of different screeners for different things. And I'll go through all of them. And like this list of these 7 shares, I will go through every single one. And unless the chart doesn't look promising, it doesn't go in the notebook. Every other stock goes in the notebook. And every morning, the next morning, right? So if today was Monday, I would have all these stocks, unless they were really bad, written down in here. And Tuesday morning, following morning, I'd wake up and I'd open up my notebook and I'd say, all right, I've got this stock, this stock, this stock. And I would go here on my Thinkorswim to my flexible grid and I would enter in those stocks over here. And I'd be looking for breakouts. I'd be looking for stocks that are moving a little higher. And then I would make a decision. Once I make that decision, I go over here to the big chart. This is the one that I have purchased, for example, hypothetically. And I would sit there and I would wait for it to hit my goal. And I would watch in real time. And the reason I watch in real time is because it might go higher than you're expecting. And it might go lower. I want to be there watching. I don't want to just set an order. Hey, if it hits 171, yeah, great, and then I walk off. I might not hit that 171. Might hit 169 and then just hover. If I'm watching in real time, I can make a snap decision and go, the volume's kind of low. This is the volume over here. Let's say this is the area. Oh, the volume's kind of low. I'm going to get out. And so that's what I do. Don't buy this stock. I'm not going to buy this stock. Don't buy any of the stocks on my screener. Do your own research. The whole point of this isn't that I tell you what to buy. First of all, I'm not a licensed broker or financial advisor, so all of this isn't me telling you what to do. I'm just teaching you how to be a self-sufficient trader, how to learn things on your own. Go through my videos, watch the other ones, how to read earnings, how to do all that kind of stuff. The goal isn't for me to tell you what to buy. The goal is for me to say, this is what I do, this is what works for me, and hey, maybe it'll work for you. So that being said, please like this video, please subscribe to this video, and comment if you have any questions. Follow me on Instagram, and have a nice day, and thanks for watching.